The good Dr. Assagioli said, make haste slowly. And so before I begin what will be a very hasty but slowly delivered speech, I'm going to ask you all just to take a breath and exhale with a sigh. And do that one more time. And come back here or here and give the old noggin a rest. I've never done a PowerPoint before, but they tell me that second graders can, so I'm guessing I can. I also want to just say that I have a very long written version of what's going to be very short. If you want a copy of it, get one of our cards out there, email me, I will send it to you. Because this is the short form. Coaching in the United States has a goodness of fit that is not available in psychotherapy because psychotherapy is held under the bounds of a medical pathological model and doesn't support even the concept of self-realization, let alone the idea that normal isn't necessarily enough. And you can take pictures of everything, including me. Goodness of fit. Coaching also allows for a connection in the global world, both between coach and counselor, and in my training, which has people from Italy, United Arab Emirates. I have a list here, but I'm not reading my speech. So, coaching in a global world supports harmony and integration. Coaching is different than psychotherapy, blah, blah, blah. That's a long conversation. The short of it is, in this ethical guideline in the coaching organization that I'm part of, ensure that clients, sponsors, and colleagues understand that coaching services are not counseling, therapy, or psychotherapy services. In the US, counseling is actually a licensed field, unlike Italy. Martha Crampton, one of my teachers in early psychosynthesis, student of Assagioli, she brought coaching into our awareness at the end of the century and right before her death. It is a discipline that assigns a central role to the will, drawing on both personal and spiritual levels of this core psychological function. This is the Synthesis Center's version of the egg diagram because I couldn't stand another dotted line. And so we got something a little more mandala-like. And I put that up there to say very clearly that while coaching is not psychotherapy, coaching plays in the whole egg. And in a brief case study, I will show how we play in the egg differently than we would as psychotherapists, of which I am also one, licensed, fully accredited, seal of approval. Assagioli, I don't know what I was going to say about him, but God, isn't he cute? The call of self. So the call of self defines every single aspect of our work in coaching. And I just can't move on without asking you just to take a very, very brief moment to tune into the call of self that has you coming to this conference, and God bless you, has you sitting here still. Tune into that, because that's going to be the piece of work that will be all your work, always, forever after. It will be how you resonate with the call of your own self. It's fun. Coaching uses a lot of little mnemonic devices and cutesy little things because it is oriented towards the will and towards taking the, and I'll use my body as the example that feels true to me, taking the call of self, Assagioli's sense of call of the self, bringing it in to the body, into awareness, into the body, and out into the world. And in coaching, we don't want that to be vague. We want it to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. You'll see a little bit more about that in the case study. Another one, the GROW model, created by, at least in part, a psychosynthesis, Sir John Whitmore. Goal, reality, options, and obstacles. You can see the flow of a session in that. What's your goal? Is it realistic? Me, I come in, I say, I want to be a ballet dancer. My coach says, is it realistic? And I go, Options, obstacles. What are the other ways that I could express the inner ballerina without starting ballet school at age 66? What are the obstacles? How do we wrap that up in a session such that I leave the session with work to do? Work we've agreed on. This circle of my life, the circle of my life is a classic coaching map, and it is a way of creating disidentification because you can use it about anything. I can put my sub-personalities in there. I can put the balance of my life, pleasure, work, children, spouse, psychosynthesis conferences. I can write about them in there, and then I am the observer looking at my life, and my coach is looking at it too. Here's my case study, and you may take pictures of this. In fact, she wanted me to share her name, and I'm not going to, because of my ethical guidelines. So this was one coaching session. Coaching sessions are often 30 minutes long, making haste slowly. The woman is an artist, a mother, she's in her 30s. She sent me her art, and in our session, she talked about the child's subpersonality, who was terrified of being left behind when the adult subpersonality who was in my training program wanted to actually be financially successful. The child's experience of that was that she would lose her creativity and she would be left. Well, the woman wanted to be an art coach, so there was a nice resolution for that. At the end of our session, and I'm going to take you through 3 pictures of hers, at the end of our session, I said, what are you going to do to ground this experience and this realization that your child and adult can work together, because your adult wants to be financially successful as an art coach, and your child wants not to be left behind, and she carries your creativity. She said, I have painted pictures of all of my subpersonalities for years, but I have never given them words. And so what I am going to do is I'm going to go to my studio and give words to the subpersonalities that are relevant to this conversation. And so I don't end there. I say, when are you going to do that? Before I meet again. No, what day? Wednesday, I have 2 free hours. What time? Okay. Shake. Now this is on the phone, so it's a metaphorical shake, but in person, it's a shake. So, This is called Little Sister. I am the victim. There is no safety in this world. I will be abandoned, left alone. No one loves you, not really. Let's hide. This is called I Am. No, this is called Fairchild. Fairchild tried to be the mediator. I am the child that was hiding. I do not yet trust the world to be a fair place. But when I lean into curiosity and take a peek, I feel freedom blooming from within. The last one, called I Am. I am transformation. I am a first sweet taste of freedom, the phoenix from the ashes. I'm not going to talk about psychosynthesis coaching, boring. We got nice stuff on psychosynthesis and coaching, and I'm not really an expert in that field. So that brings me to the end of my Make Haste Slowly to offer you gratitude, to offer my old friend Tom gratitude, namaste, Carla, all of us, and to wish us all peace, which at least Google told me was in Italian was that. So I hope that it's right. And thank you all for all of your participation in this conference. Again, if you want the whole weighty speech, take one of our cards out there. It'll have our logo on it, and it'll have our website, and write to me, and I will send it to you. Yay!
Thank you, Didi. Now that you have